In this video, we extend our discussion of Ritzer's concept of McDonaldization. In his more recent versions of this book, he's distinguishing between us as producers and consumers. This video focuses in on us as consumers. While Ritzer is distinguishing between producers and consumers for analytic reasons, in reality, most of us are prosumers. We both produce and consume. But it can't be lost on most of us that increasingly in digital spaces, there's less and less space for production and more space for consumption. So for the rest of this video, we're going to go through Ritzer's theory of McDonaldization from the point of view of consumer, going through his four aspects: efficiency, calculability, predictability, and control through non-human technologies. In our current model, companies are often what's described as asset light, like Amazon or Uber, where most of the employees are independent contractors, or there isn't a lot of input from the company. They don't need as many employees as companies needed in the past. This is a big change. As you recall, efficiency refers to the optimum means to a given end. It's getting what you want faster and easier. The problem is we don't often know what the most efficient way to do something is, so we rely on what we've done before. We also have to ask the question of efficient for whom, because often what serves the needs of some players in the game isn't really serving the needs of others. There's some consequences to this. We tend to do things like just-in-time production, streamline operations, or stick to pretty tight schedules. But as a result, we often have fewer workers, and consumers are asked to replace workers doing unpaid work. Ritzer identifies three broad subdimensions of efficiency. First, we have streamlining the process. He highlights the different ways that things like, let's say, ordering in a fast food restaurant have been streamlined, where you just use a touch screen instead of dealing with a person. A second thing we see people doing to improve efficiency is simplifying the product itself. This might mean a restaurant or a fast food establishment is always making the same product in the same way. This might not be the best thing for taste. With increasing frequency, the customer themselves is put to work. A good example is the salad bar. What used to come to you as a pre-made salad, you're now making it at the bar. You might appreciate being to choose your own items. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's efficiency for whom? Ritzer points out that prosumers are expected to perform an ever-increasing array of tasks, and increasingly, some of our entry-level jobs are simply no longer in existence. Calculability refers to the ability to quantify or measure and then compare products. This allows one to produce and consume large amounts and a wide range of products and services. The problem is, even though this allows for comparison, it very much limits our metrics of comparison. We really only compare against things that are quantifiable. Personal choice, taste, those things are often not quantifiable. We often find that calculability can become a surrogate for quality, where we start to look only at the measures that we can compare, and we don't look at sort of the overall quality of the item. Next, we want to consider predictability. It's knowing what to expect. And while this tends to bring us peace of mind, it can also bring us routinized boredom. In the first case, we have predictable consumption settings. There's a lot of upsides to this in that you know what you're going to get, you feel safe. Of course, there's also potential downsides. While these settings are easy to use, you often don't get pleasantly surprised either. We also might want to rethink what we think of as safety. For a long time, we've assumed that we were safe in digital environments while our data was being collected in many ways that maybe made us unsafe. We also can expect predictable products and processes. When we go to a fast food restaurant, we know exactly what we're gonna get. When we go to a franchised movie, we generally know how the story's going to go. While this might minimize danger and unpleasantness for us, it also takes a lot of the magic out of life. Finally, we have control through non-human technologies. What this fundamentally means is using technology to increase control by the organization. It's a way to manage the customer, but it's generally in ways beneficial to the organization, not to the individual or the consumer. What you're effectively doing is controlling consumers all the way through the consumption process. How do we do this? Well, first of all, you're given cues that dictate expectations. Usually when you walk into an establishment, it's pretty clear how you obtain whatever it's trying to sell you. Same with the website. They're usually going to make it easy for you to do what they want you to do. There's also structural constraints that are going to shape behavior. The way that the built environment exists or the website exists. And finally, we tend to internalize norms and then follow them. Ritzer gives lots of examples in the book assigned for class, so hope you enjoy those, and thanks for watching.